Hi everybody, how are you doing this week? I hope you're well. My name's Mark. Welcome to Friendship Shaving. Take your seats please for the show. I've got a great razor to shave with this week. It is another British razor made in England for the French market. This is a 1960s flare tip super speed razor. It is another razor that I have rescued and polished up. It cost me £9 with £3 postage, so I am ecstatic with this razor. On the inside, maybe you'll be able to see, but it has a Brit-Pat 693094. No, 694093. It is, one assumes, the same head as the HD rocket that I used last week, because the pattern number is the same. Even though the handle is very different and the weight is very different, it provides a great shave. Now I thought I would use this razor about the beginning of every month and focus on a razor blade. And I thought I'd like to focus on some of the razor blades that aren't the usual suspects. So I've got today a Polsilver stainless blade. And this is an old blade. I'll explain more about that as we go along. Now the giveaway today is thanks to Paul Edmonds. Thank you, sir, for giving this razor to the channel with the instructions to pay it forward. So the giveaway is this beautiful American 1958 TV special super speed. Maybe you can see that it is slightly different from its British counterpart. The end caps are more rounded and the twist to open knob stays in the same place while the silo doors open. I think you can see this is absolutely stunning. So that is on offer, and I will tell you how you can get about winning that later on. Now I've been really enjoying a Palmolive shaving stick, and I thought to use one today. There we are. It is a lovely fougere, mildly scented but very nicely scented. You can see the green soap. They've stopped making this in the UK, but you can still buy it where it's made in Germany, so we can still get it pretty easily over here at a good price. It's terrific soap. I've used it, this will be my third time I've used it in a row. Haven't used a Palmolive soap stick for a long time, but it is a very, very nice stick of soap. Now I'm just taking out this Polsilver blade. There we are, it just says on it Polsilver stainless, and I will pop that into today's razor, making sure I'm using the British one and not the American one. There we are. Now I'm just going to wet my face, so excuse me. Because I think that's the trick when you are using a shaving stick, is to have a good wet face. And I'm just going to take that stick and rub it into my bristles. I find this to be the most effective way of using a shaving stick. There are obviously other ways you can use. But I have found this works very well for me. If it gets a little bit dry, just dip the end in your water. Simple as that. And I think that's enough. Now, I don't like it. Sometimes it forms a ridge around here, so just going to wipe that on my chin. Make it neat and tidy. Now the brush I'm going to be using today is my synthetic hard right brush. I've had that in some water and I'm going to get straight to it with this soap. So I'm just moving the soap on my face and trying to get a little bit of water into it. There we are. Now, there's not much on the brush yet, as you can see, but once I've got to this stage, just going to add water to the brush and add that to the soap that's on my face. And I'm going to keep doing that till there's a nice amount of water in this soap. As you can see, there's a nice lather starting to build already. I'm just going to add a drop more water, but I probably don't need any more. I've got a nice wet lather, it is going everywhere. There we are. Now I'm just going to pop that up there. Now I've got this Polsilver and had a little discussion in the week about the Polsilver Super Iridiums. It prompted me to pick up that razor blade. That one is not the Super Iridium, it is simply a Polsilver stainless steel razor, but it does have the same characteristics I find as the Super Iridium razor. This one was made in lots in Poland, and that was before production was moved to the Gillette Russian site. So these razor blades are limited, but you can still buy them, and they are cheaper than the Super Iridiums. For example, this one is £3.52 I found for, I'll start that again, the Super Iridium is £3.52 for a pack of 5, whereas this one is £4.41 for a pack of 10. So the Super Iridiums are more expensive. It starts off on its first use to be average sharpness and jumps up quite considerably on its second use. The thing I like about this razor blade most of all is its smoothness. It is an incredibly smooth razor blade. And by all accounts, the Super Iridium blades are also very smooth indeed. The Iridium, just for your information, is put onto the stainless steel to help reduce corrosion, but also it's, I'm trying to think of the way to put it, it's resistant to heat change. But the Super Iridiums are a very expensive razor blade. I have been reading that the Polsilver razor blades are not going to be produced anymore. Now, the article I was reading online was dated 2016, so that's already a few years old. So I can't actually verify if that's true, but the article was saying that the Gillette factory are going to swap over production from the Polsilver razor blades to the Gillette Platinum razor blades. So just something of interest there. It may be that that is the reason that the Polsilver blades are quite expensive. This one, I think, gives a really terrific shape. It's one of the nicest, smoothest blades I've used, to be honest. I'm really enjoying it. My soap is a little bit watery today, I feel. Now, I've got incredible slickness on the soap. I find the Palmolive to be a very slick soap anyway. But as it's this wet, it really really good. I think we're always keen, aren't we, to build, a really great big thick ladder, but I'm discovering of late there's something to be said for a thin ladder. I know we've had that discussion before. Oh. Oh, what am I doing here? I don't know, honestly. This razor, even though I said I assumed it was the same head, it feels different because it's a lot lighter razor. Now, on my analog kitchen scales it comes in at about 30 grams. Whereas the HC Rocket that I used last week was 71 grams. But I find this to be a very, very versatile razor, very easy to use. And it is a terrific shave, it really is. I was very pleased that I got another British made razor. I couldn't believe it was only £9. I've really struck gold almost there. Very lucky indeed, and very lucky that it came up because in the pictures there was lots of light on it. But these barn doors, they were really, really tarnished and had watermarks on them and all sorts. So yeah, thankfully, a bit of polish and a clean, or rather a clean and a bit of polish, and it has come up. So I couldn't say that I restore razors, I don't. I just give them a clean and a polish, and I'm lucky that the ones I've got come up really well because they're really well made. I think it's just awesome. Yeah, I think we've gone a bit thin with the soap, but there'll be plenty of slickness here, so not to worry. Perhaps I needed to have a little less water in my brush. Or perhaps just have a little more soap on my face, but there is actually plenty here. It's just that I feel I haven't got very much on my face. Do you know what I mean? Give the brush a quick cursory wash. So here's a question for you, because I've been reading people's opinion on this. What I love about our interest, our hobby, whatever you want to call it, is that we all have different opinions, but we respect other people's opinions. I really like that. So the question I'm going to ask is, do you think it's better to use, a shorter, choppier motion or a longer stroke? Or do you just do whatever comes to mind? I used to shave with a much longer stroke. It used to be like that all the time. But what I found is that on my on my problem areas here, and on parts where my skin is a little tender, like here, I'm tending to use a shorter, choppier stroke, like that, rather than just the just something I've been interested in, and I'm starting to play with a little bit. I think that's the great thing about shaving. We can just, we can play with our techniques. And it doesn't matter how long you've been shaving, you can always just try something different. Our variation is endless. Now that is a terrific shave, I have to tell you. I think this Polsilver razor blade is a great blade. I find it to have a great balance between smoothness and sharpness. Now that was certainly a lot more sharp than the first time I used it. So there really was quite a significant jump, I feel, in the sharpness on the second use of that blade, but it was incredibly smooth. Now from memory, a similar blade perhaps is the American Persona. But that's a really nice blade, made in Poland. If you've got any you don't want, I'll be glad of them because they're great. Now I'm just going to wipe my face a little bit. And we'll talk about the giveaway for this week. Excuse me, I'm going to rinse with some cold water. Oh, there we go. I'm going to use a little bit of alum. You can maybe notice that I did a slightly different pattern on my face. Rather than my two downward passes, I did one down, one across that way, and one across that way. Just experimenting and seeing how we go. But that's a great shave, I'm telling you. Now, the giveaway, you've already seen it, but it really is a beautiful razor. It is the D1 1958 TV special. How can you tell? If you look on the handle, you can see that the knurling is formed in vertical strips, whereas on the normal super speed there are also horizontal strips on the handle as well. So if I hold them together, there you might be able to see the difference. I'm sorry if the light's not too great on that. So what I want you to do, quite simply in the comments, tell me why you'd like it. Got to work a little bit for this one. It's a beautiful razor. Look at the plating on that. It is absolutely lovely. It will seem strange to send it back to America if somebody from America wins, but I will send it anywhere in the world. It's open to everybody. And I'd just like to say thank you once again to Paul for putting up this fabulous razor for today's prize. So yeah, brilliant, Paul. Thank you very much, sir. There we are. That is the giveaway. You know what to do in the comments. Tell me why you'd like it. Something a little bit different. Now I'm going to wash off my alum. And I'm just looking around to see what aftershave I'm going to use. And do you know what? I think it's going to be the Nivea, because that will go very nicely with the Palmolive soap. If you've not tried one, I urge you to get a Palmolive stick. They are a great little thing. Now, I got 4 of those sticks for £6, and that included free postage. So that shows you how cheap they still are. By the way, I do know somebody who has got 100 of these under a sink. You know who you are, you crazy shaver. Well, that is, I'm telling you, that is another fantastic shave. Absolutely brilliant. So that's it. What I'll do, we'll leave it a fortnight, and then I shall announce the winner in a fortnight's time on the shave that I do then. So please subscribe if you like what you've seen, and you look after yourselves, eh? Let's be careful out there. All the best. Bye bye.